noise.
Welcome back to the next part of this Truth and Rhythm episode. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. If you've already done so, please share it with friends. Also become a member by joining Truth and Rhythm on Patreon, or consider donating at funkinstuff.net. Thank you so much for your interest and support. Enjoy.
You know, those who weren't around back then, I got to just emphasize, you know, Rock Your Baby was a phenomenon then. I think it was the biggest hit of that year.
Yes, it was. I won the I was nominated for the best R&B artist of the year, but I didn't win, and because of best song of the year, but Stevie Wonder beat me out.
That Fly By Night, Stevie Wonder. Hey, he could have done without an award. He won all the awards.
Yeah. But I was nominated. I got the award I have right now. You know, have the Grammy. I still have an award here.
When you came back to do the next record, did you feel like pressure to come anywhere close to like the success of Rock Your Baby?
No, at the time, they released from the album then, this following up album from the song was I Can't Leave You Alone. I can't leave you alone, baby. It happened when you're close to me. I can't leave you alone. They released that. It got in the top 5 in England and over in Europe area, and I think in the States it was in the top 10 R&B. And then the follow from that was I Get Lifted, and I Get Lifted so I had about 3 or 4 songs that was hits, R&B hits, and pop hits also. Just from that one album.
Yeah,
and the album itself sold millions because of those songs off of it. All over the whole world.
I also liked Look at You.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Look at You. Make It Right was one of my favorites on the song, too. Make it right, make it right, make it all right, baby. My days ain't sunny. I need you, honey, to make it right.
Now, George, did you it looked like you ended up with 2 albums with us that were self-titled, like right around close together.
Yeah.
That's kind of unusual.
Yeah, this is George McCrae.
Yeah.
They want to hear George McCrae. He's giving George McCrae, you know.
75 and 78 George McCrae albums. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe couldn't think of a title for the other one, or
it could have been. It's been so long, but they put George McCrae on them.
Yeah.
Because it's what I guess that was the name now. Just it didn't even. I was the title.
Spoke for itself. So how did that change your life, after that? I mean, it must have, radically changed things.
Oh yeah. I started doing the world tour then, and could change my life. Or I got a divorce from Gwen because we were going in different directions at the time, and she wanted to do her own thing, I guess, and that was one of the sad times in my life. But that's part of rock and roll, I guess. And I had to back up and regroup. So I moved to. We were doing all right until everything was going fine until end of '79 and the '80s. That's when they started saying disco is dead, because Rocky Baby, that song disco that was the first disco song actually for the disco revolution that came when disco came in. Ever because of Rocky Baby and Case and the Sunshine Band. We the one started it, the Miami Sound, Henry Stone. And because of that, and then everyone started to dance to all of our music, because we was making dance music. People want to enjoy themselves. They want to hear about sorrow and blues and all this. They wanted this party.
Mm-hmm.
And we was coming off the Vietnam War and all this other thing that was happening, and we all, living on the edge with a nuclear threat. We don't know if we're gonna be alive tomorrow or not. So we said, what the hell? Let's party then. Enjoy yourself while you can. So this is our mentality then as being young at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But now today, it's coming back. It's coming around again. It's all coming around again. People are being so discontent, and so we're gonna they come with their own thing again. The new generation coming out. They want to party. They want to all these threats hanging over us.
Well, George, so that record, I mean, probably at the time, Rock Your Baby, you didn't, I'm sure, think of it was disco. You just thought it was, soul or R&B or dance music, right?
I didn't think it was disco, but people were dancing to it.
Yeah.
That was started it,
That label just got put on it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's really, an R&B dance record, right?
Yeah, R&B dance, but disco's R&B dance records.
Yeah, although it really got a lot of it got very mechanical and sort of, later on.
Technology, of course,
Yeah.
when new technology come out, but the whole idea, everything is the basic is still there. The beat and the beat of it, the sound of it, and the people will move. It's the beat. It's the patting your feet.
But Harry Casey and those guys, I mean, they were musical.
Yeah.
The stuff they did. Especially their early stuff was really funky too.
Of course, they grew up. Yeah. They grew up listening to R&B music. These was two white boys. These was two white boys, young white boys, love R&B music, and they love to sing it, and they do a great job with it. They grew up listening to it. Everyone, when your heart is there and you listen to it, that the fluid's gonna stick. Elvis did the same thing.
Mm.
So you talk about Elvis, same thing. But and you talk about all the other rock stars like the Rolling Stones, and
right, all the blues.
They're all growing up listening to R&B soul music.
Yep.
And they kept it there, and that's what they made them, because they believe in it. See, they try to cover things up about music, but we all know that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And where the roots come from. The roots also come from, believe it or not, country music. Country music too. I listen to a lot of country music. Patsy Cline. Yep, Johnny Cash. Loretta Lynn. I grew up listening to all of that stuff. It was good stuff. Really. Conway Twitty. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, I have that country soul in me too.
Yeah.
That's all. It's just
Roots,
soul music too.
American roots music.
Yep.
Yeah.
American roots.
Yeah. So, I mean, you kept being very prolific in terms of your output. I mean, you kept, throughout a long period of time, kept putting out records and albums. And at some point, did you find that you had more demand overseas than in America, or how did that go?
Yeah, I found out because I had more when PK Records uh folded because of the disco era with dance music, because with this guy burned the records all in Chicago, and disco was dead, and he did all this other stuff at the time. So PK Records went bankrupt, and I was out of a record company. So at the time, I moved to Canada, and I moved to Winnipeg, Manitoba. I stayed for 10 years, and I recorded an album there. It's a great album. It's called One Step Closer. And
1984. Yeah.
I recorded it there. And it was a beautiful album, but the time I released a song from it, one song called On the Night, and I released the song, but then that was in 1984, and what killed it, you give it a chance, was Michael Jackson. When Michael came out with Billie Jean and the Thriller and all that, it's just buried my song, the album period. But the album was a great, great album. And but then Michael was too strong for everybody. It just killed everything.
Yeah, Michael, give me a break. I was on a bill with you guys back in the mid '70s.
No, Michael did his thing. I'm happy for him. He changed it, but actually, he brought dance music back. Mm-hmm. They changed the dance music, not disco anymore. They changed it to dance. He came out with it like Madonna,
Yeah, '84
Madonna
also was when Prince came big then too.
Yeah, that was all dance again. A new version of it, younger generation, but the same thing. When I heard Nile Rodgers was there doing it, like a version, I said, this kid's not going anywhere. This kid hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there. They call it dance now, but it's there.
Yeah, they later called it club music. They called it house music.
Club, yeah.
Yeah, electronic dance music. Yeah, all
electronic
kinds of
dance. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's all based on soul dance. If from your heart, the rhythm is there. You make it move. I don't care. And overseas, so when I did One Step Closer to the album, then it became in the top 10 in One Step Closer, the song in England, in the English charts.
When did that happen?
In 1970 was not 74, 1984, 85.
Oh, so later on it got to be a hit again overseas.
Overseas, yeah.
Yeah.
One Step Closer one. That was a wonderful album that I did. One of my best ones, I think, too. Different style, but it was wonderful. And then, after the One Step Closer album, I started doing some other things over in Europe. With a guy by the name of Manfred Holtz. We did a couple of albums together there, and out of Germany. And that was very successful too, all the songs over here in Europe. And so over here in Europe, I had continued success.
When did you start spending time in the Netherlands? What year?
I came in the Netherlands in the first time I came in 1975 on first tour, the world tour, with Rock Your Baby. And then I came back to the Netherlands in first I came to Germany first. I left Canada and went to Germany first. And I stayed in Germany for 3 years. And that's where I was doing a couple of albums there in Germany. And then from Germany, I left from Germany and went to Netherlands in 1987.
Okay, so quite a while now.
Mm-hmm. 1987, I came to Germany. Came to Netherlands. And in the Netherlands, that's where I been doing my music over here and been here ever since.
George, is there one particular performance that just really stands out that you'll just never forget from, whenever it was? Maybe it was in the 70s, but, whether it was just an amazing audience or somebody, joined you on stage, or it could even be
my one particular I will never forget was performing in Madison Square Garden with James Brown. I was the opening act. And that was a big thrill for me then because I had just had Rock Your Baby, #1 Rock Your Baby. And one of my biggest dreams was to perform at the Apollo. For a black artist, performing as Apollo Theater, that was because that they tell you you the one, you can make it, or they'll break you, The Apollo Theater was the spot. And all the artists, Motown artists, and you name all the opera, Al Green, and all of them performed that. Even James Brown. But for me, here I am in Madison Square Garden. My first time in New York City, because all of my life they were telling me, never go to New York. If you walk down the street, you get robbed. If you walk down the street, man, it's terrible. Don't never go to New York. As a child growing up, I never would go to New York. I'm never going to New York. I'm never going to New York. Because this is what I was told. I heard all the time. People go there. And so now I'm on tour now. I've been going LA, Chicago, and Detroit, and all other Atlanta, and all the other Memphis, and all the other major cities of different, Kansas. But not New York. Never going there. And then I had to go there because James Brown, was performing in Madison Square Garden. I was the opening act. So I go there and I check into the hotel. And so I had my manager at the time was Larry Brahms. Saying, if I'm staying in this room, I'm staying in the hotel. I'm not going out on the streets. I'm going to stay here till they come pick me up, take to Madison Square Garden. So I was there about 3 days. And so I said, I'm going to go out and walk in front of the hotel here, up and down, to see what's happening. So I walk out door, and the doorman is there, hello. Hey, people nice here. So I was right across from the park.
Central Park.
And so I'm gonna walk down the street. Shoot, people are, hey, what's going on there? Everybody. So I'm gonna walk. I thought I was gonna walk across the street. I walk in the park and everything. I say, them people been lying to me. Who said New York was all dangerous? If danger West Palm Beach, there's certain area in West Palm Beach you go to, you don't want to go to, And so, shoot, they've been lying to me all this time. And I had some of the best time of my whole life when I was in New York City. Really, and I went to Madison Square and I performed in Madison Square Garden. That was my best. I never forget it. And next thing I knew was after I performed the Metro, the Garden, at the end of the tour for James, then had to go with the Jacksons, the Midwest tour, opening. So after the Midwest tour, they tell me I have to go to Europe. Europe. Yep, you have to go to Europe. So I came to Europe, and when I came here, I fell in love with Europe, and I found out, once you're a star in Europe, you're always a star. I don't care if it's 10 years, 15 or 30 years from now. It's like, once you're there, you're there. If people know you, anywhere I could walk down the streets in Europe, in Germany, in Holland, Switzerland, I get recognized like nothing. I'd walk to, hey, let's go. Oh,
Yeah,
and you're here with me.
America's more like flavor of the week, but yeah, overseas.
Yeah, right. And see, so one thing about Europe is that way anyway, because Europe is the culture of the world that conserve history. And disco and dance and music that started. I mean, actually, it really started in Europe.
Germany, yeah.
Yeah, German classical and not Germany. Actually, it was Austria. Austria, Germany followed, but Austria was the root of classical, and Italy. All those countries always you grew up, that's where music started. And the history, started from Bach, Chopin, and all that, but then the basic of music, Gregorian chant. That's the roots of the whole music. So history is preserved here. All the artists, Picasso and and all this, the painters and everything is documentary. The history is the root of the world history right here in Europe. They got it is, in Switzerland, and it's beautiful. And you see this, and you see the States. Oh man! And if a lot of more people come, really, and travel and see more of the world, then that's the cool they're living in.
Perspective, yeah.
Get more perspective. I think we have more of a peaceful world too. And if you understand more people instead of being more afraid of them, but to understand them, understand their culture, understand I've been there, many places I've been. Here I am in the Middle East, on tour in the Middle East, United Arab Emirates. Here I am, I'm in the desert with the prince, sitting there in the desert, prince, drinking a beer. Now, it's illegal to drink, there. But here I am, because I'm with the prince. And I say, man, when you drinking the beer, because the law is one of them. It doesn't apply to us. Oh, okay. Whatever you say, it's good. Okay, just go with the flow.
What do you think you would have said if somebody had told you 50 years ago, when you're laying down those Tarzan yells in the studio, that 50 years later that song would still be so well known and remembered?
It's unbelievable. I'm so honored. I'm so pleased. I'm so blessed. And it's something that when I did it, I had no idea. But when I did it with love. I did it with kindness. I did it with hope. I did it with everything good when I was singing that song. And I did it with abundantly love from my mother.
Hmm. Now she was around then, so she could see your success, right?
Yeah, she's around then. I come from a family of 9 brothers and sisters,
Wow.
and I'm the second oldest. And we had to take care of all of the rest of the siblings growing up. And then I couldn't go to university because my parents couldn't afford to send me there. So I joined the Navy because at the time they was drafting for the Vietnam War, and I didn't want to go in the Army. So my best thing said, you better go to the Navy and take that test and see if you pass that test. And I did. And another thing about it too, because my father and my uncles, or my uncle and my father, they was Navy men in World War II.
So there was a
So that was extra
legacy
point too.
tradition. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went down and said, well, my father and my uncles, they was in the Navy too. Oh, okay. I want to keep that tradition. Okay. You get extra points. So that worked out really well. And by the way, my father was he's the first black policeman in West Palm Beach.
Huh. Oh,
Yes, he was.
that helped get you out of any jams?
Oh yeah, a lot of jams because my boys, I knew everything was going on in town. Who did what did who? All the teenagers, all and and they would never want. Oh no, you can't go. You can't go. No, your dad's a cop. You can't go. I would never tell. I knew everything's going to happen, but they would never let me go with them because they didn't want to get me in trouble. Because your dad is a police. No, they just call me Skin. Skin, your dad is a policeman. No, you just stay out of it.
Hmm.
And so they just used me, to at a time growing up to we used to go play football, sandlot football, as at different territories. So I was a negotiator to go and organize 5th Street would play against 10th Street. 10th Street would play against Pleasant Heights. Pleasant Heights would play against 15th Street. That's to organize that. And we have a championship. We're going to be the championship of that year. Sandlot football we used to play. In school, growing up. Also, I also was in the Boy Scouts.
Making me feel nostalgic now. Those were great times.
Yeah. Also in the Boy Scouts, Explorer Scouts. I made Explorer Scouts. Yep. Merit badges and all that. And that was a good time. And it's not like now. I think if you still have more of that in the kids today is they're in a whole different zone now. They're not. They used to get out. They're not. They all sit around playing video games and
all screens and instant gratification. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, George, let me jump to the Love album that you did in 2016. I want to mention that because you had been away for a while and you came back with that, and it was a strong record, I thought, and
yeah, it was. It is.
Yeah. What inspired you to come back and still keep at it and do that one?
No, actually, I was never going away. I was doing songs. I got many songs I was doing. I got a lot of songs I did. I was recording in German and everything, but I happen to be here in the Netherlands now. And Roger Heister came to me and said he wanted to do an album. I said, well, why not? So we came together and got together, and we corresponded together, and we wrote these songs and came out to be the Love album. And I flew my two oldest daughters over to do the background vocals on it with me, and from the States. And it's a good album. But I guess it was wrong time. We got to play promotion, but it wasn't the right move for the people, I guess. It was George McCrae, and this for my fans. It did all right, but I was hoping it would do better.
Well, it's well produced and very musical, and Count on Me is really catchy.
Yeah,
Sexy Woman is funky fun track too.
yeah, yeah. Call Me, yeah. That was a nice track, yeah.
And so is that your most recent album, or did you have one since then?
No, I just did a new single now with Linda Law. It was in the Heritage chart, #1 in the Heritage chart. It's just coming down now, the Heritage chart, but it's playing all over now. It's still playing. It's called "Step Into My Heart."
Okay.
If you go on Spotify, it's on Spotify, and also on I think the other one, all the platforms there. It's on those platforms. Step into it's a duo I did with English girls. They did pretty well. They're playing the hell out of it now. A lot of places in England and Netherlands. It's on streaming.
Okay. Yeah. And how can people keep up with what you're doing and all that good stuff?
I do that with on my fans on my Facebook and Twitter and Skype. You name all the platforms there.
Is there a dedicated website as well that you want to mention?
Beg pardon?
Is there a dedicated website also you want to mention?
My website now is georgemccrae.com, but it's not on that one yet. I got to update that one. Type in George McCrae on Facebook there. You see my page. And also go to Linda Law, LYNDA, LAW, Linda Law, and you will see. We have a video out on that too.
How did you meet her?
I met her in she's an English girl, but I met her in Belgium. She's a songwriter, and she sent me an email say, "I wrote a song for you, and I really like to sing it with you, if you don't mind." So she sent the song too, and I heard it. I said, "Sure, I'll do it with you," and it was like that. And what I did was she sent the track to me, and I just put my vocals on it. In my little studio I have, I put my vocals on it, and then I sent it back to her. And then she put her vocals on it along with her husband, because he is the producer, engineer and producer of it. And
Modern technology, the wonders of modern technology for music making, right?
Yeah. And it came out. So if you check that out, Step Into My Heart. It's a good song.
Nice.
I can send you the link to it too.
One track I don't think I remember to mention, but I want to throw it out there from back in the day. You Treat Me Good. That was also a good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You make me feel like I want to feel. Make me feel. Darling, you treat me good. Darling. That's one of my favorites too. So glad I got you. So glad I got you. Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, yeah. How do you care for your voice these days?
Oh. Sometimes I speak like my mother and my father. My mother, I go, ah. My father, I can go with a deep voice. My voice is good still.
Yeah. Do you do anything to try to, make sure you don't blow it out or anything?
No. Blow it. I can't blow it out. No, to keep it up to par. I'm always singing all the time, and um, even when I'm walking down the street by myself, I'm singing. Thinking about a song, I'm singing. I'm always working my voice. In the kitchen cooking, in the shower, I'm singing. There's no place I walk. Every time I walk or take a step, I'm singing.
Yeah. Well, so glad that
I
you're
mean,
still doing that, and you're still out there, and good to see you and good spirits and good health, and just warms my heart.
thank you. And I've been blessed. I don't complain about anything. I'm still singing. As a matter of fact, going to work on a new album, and also have some songs in the can I never released yet. But I think it's time now to let them go. I got a song, a couple of albums I did, not a couple, an album that I did with Rick Finch. I did it back in the late 80s, late 90s with Rick Finch.
Yeah.
I have that in the can. He produced me with Casey,
Hmm.
and there's some beautiful, beautiful tracks.
Well, we want to hear that, so bring it out,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
release those. Yeah.
nice. Um, Looking back at the whole George McCrae story, is there anything you could point to that you could say, I'm most proud of accomplishing that?
I'm much proud of being nominated for my Grammy R&B singer of that year, '74, and I'm confident because I'm proud of going to South Africa, performing in South Africa, and with my band at the time, and we performed to an integrated audience the whole tour because of Rock Your Baby. The whole tour was integrated. No one divided like the whites on that side and blacks. They were all together, sitting all together in all of these theaters and sold out. And it was and this was when Nelson Mandela was in prison still. And I'm one of the few that did that, and it's all because of my song "Rock Your Baby." It was #1 there in South Africa, and I met the Warner Brown, not Warner Brown, the doctor that did the first heart transplant for the world, did the first heart transplant.
Hmm.
I met him, and also met the lady who did the heart transplant, who had the heart transplant from him at the time. I never forget that. And just for me to just to be there and to do what I did there in South Africa, and I had the Zulu Nation gave me a name. The name was Mandla. I said Mandla. I said, what Mandla mean? He said, man with the power. I said, really? Man with the power. Oh, okay. I'll never forget that. That's one of my memories
Yeah,
of
that's
being in South Africa.
wow. What year was that, do you think?
That was 1976.
Wow, bicentennial year for America.
Yeah,
Huh.
1976. And I
Yeah.
was there with my newborn band then, and my newborn band was out of Miami. We was dynamite then too. One of my albums I did was the Diamond Touch album with Greg Diamond, and I did that with the newborn band with TK Records. Greg Diamond was the producer, and gave him back the feeling. with one of the songs off that album. That was pretty good.
Well, George, man, so much fun talking to you and hearing these stories. And, I just want to thank on behalf of, all the listeners worldwide that will tune into this. Thank you for the music and thank you for all you've given us through the years.
Right. Thank you. And God bless you, man. And stay healthy.
Yeah, likewise. And thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
My
and I'm
pleasure.
glad we could make the time difference work. And when and how did you get the Worldwide Ambassador of Love nickname or title?
That's the title because of all the fans, and Roger Heister said, George, you're the worldwide ambassador of love. I said, if they want to call me that, that's what I am, So I just use myself now as George McCrae, the worldwide ambassador of love, Mr. Rock Your Baby himself.
There you go. That's a pretty good title to have, I would say. So, yeah. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Truth in Rhythm. A big thank you goes out to our guest as well as to you, the viewer and listener. Also, much gratitude to Pleasure for supplying the show's funky opening and closing music. As a reminder, you can always access the complete list of linked shows by episode at funkandstuff.net. I urge you to support this program and receive the extra benefits along with that by subscribing to the Funk and Stuff channel on YouTube and sharing it with funk, R&B, and jazz lovers, joining Truth and Rhythm's membership program at Patreon, submitting a donation at funkandstuff.net, buying Everything is on the One, the First Guide to Funk book at Amazon, shopping at the Funky Things store for cool merchandise at funkandstuff.net, and linking through funkandstuff.net for all of your Amazon purchases. In addition, if you're an artist or anyone seeking proven, results-oriented professional marketing, PR, writing, or editing consultation or production, check out the media services section at funkandstuff.net. Also, I encourage you to drop me a line at scottg@funkandstuff.net. I love the feedback, suggestions, guest requests, appearance and sponsorship inquiries, and just talking about my favorite subject, groove-based music. For now, and as always, this is Scott Dr. GX Goldfine saying, keep on vibing to the rhythm of the one.